are you guys?
Hi, Igor. Welcome to Montreal. How are you feeling ahead of the tournament?
Really good. I had a pretty intense time practicing here, a couple of days. So for sure, I came here with a good vibes after Warsaw tournament. I'm pretty excited for the first match.
Hi, welcome to Montreal. I saw your training practice on Friday. You were practicing with a piece of tape on your mouth. Can you just explain why you do that?
Honestly, I don't get it either. No, but it's harder to breathe when you're only breathing with your nose, and it's easier for my heart rate to go up, and I think it has something to do with endurance, but I'm not going to explain you properly because I'm not an expert. Sometimes I don't get the things they tell me to do either. So, but no, I'm doing that for a long time now. So, yeah, it got pretty easy, but for sure, you can see the difference in how everything you do on court is getting more and more hard with that tape on your mouth. So, I guess it's a way to kind of work on my endurance by not having me, run so fast and do, extreme things. No, I don't know if I even said that correctly. My conditioning coach is going to read that and he's going to facepalm probably, so ask him.
Who's the next question?
Iga, just talking about the work and training that you've done, the hard work here in Montreal, can you talk through a little bit about how maybe differently you're coming into this hardcourt season compared to, I know you don't like to look back, but just to give us a frame of reference as to how differently this one feels?
Well, I don't really remember what we did last year in Montreal, but I remember for sure I had some technical struggles that I kind of focused more in terms of what I wanted to improve, but I was kind of stuck with few shots that I didn't like. So this year I don't have that. I feel more confident, and also, I think that playing Warsaw on hardcourt changed a lot the perspective, because last year switching from grass to clay and then to hardcourt was really tricky, and this year I feel like it's a pretty nice process without any extra obstacles, So it was pretty easy for me to just focus on work, and I had little preseason here, and I think it's great before the whole swing and before the US Open.
The last tournament was in Warsaw. It's a home tournament. Sometimes a home tournament can be tricky because of the expectation a player puts on themselves, and also because of the requirements of media and sponsors and so on. I was just wondering, how do you think you handled? Of course, you won, so that obviously quite well. Were you happy with the way that you managed to actually cope with the home environment and then all the tricky challenges?
Even though I won, for sure it was tricky, and it wasn't easy. I would say, looking at the result, for sure I'm happy, but I still need, more experience, and I need to learn more to handle it better. Because, I played 2 matches on Saturday because of the rain, and after that, I knew that I have to finish my semifinal, and then there is going to be, if I'm going to win 2 games, there is going to be probably a final for me. And for sure, that wasn't an easy evening. I felt the expectations and the pressure, but still, the best lesson for me is, even if I'm feeling these things, and even if it's not easy, I can still, perform, great tennis. So for sure, I'm still learning, and it wasn't a smooth process, but as you said, the result is the thing that I should kind of look at and be proud of, so that's what I'm doing.
Hi, I'll be that guy who asks a silly question, but did anyone tell you what the name of the grandstand here was?
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
I had a whole photo shoot yesterday. Having stadium named after me, huge privilege. Let's pretend that's the story. No, but it's just a nice coincidence. So yeah, it's fun. I feel more happy when I see that is Iga Stadium, so it's nice. They should do this more often.
Iga, speaking of happy coincidences, I think, if my memory serves correctly, your last win here in Montreal was over Caroline Wozniacki.
It was
No?
Toronto.
Oh, that was Toronto?
That's my first time here, so.
Ah, there you go. See?
That's the first time.
Yeah, it was.
I
The
caught
first time you got me.
having wrong stat.
But her, obviously, last loss in Canada came to you. And I'm curious, just on the topic of her coming back, what has she kind of meant to you as you know, she is Polish and, you know, was kind of, I think you guys practiced together maybe that tournament and stuff. But can you talk a little bit about what it's like to have her back and what she's meant to you in the past?
Well, for sure, even though she's not representing Poland, you know, we all know that she speaks Polish fluently. Her parents are Polish, so she was one of these people that kind of showed me that it's possible. You know, besides Aga Radwańska, obviously. So yeah, she's a huge inspiration. I always felt like we have different game styles, but when we played in Toronto, for sure, it was a kind of a breakthrough match for me because I realized that, you know, I can win those matches, you know, against the best players and against the, you know, really experienced players. And I remember it was important for me because I lost the first set 6-0, and then I came back and I was able to kind of shake off all the stress and just focus on the game. And I won this match, and it was just, yeah, it was like an extra belief for me for the future. And then I played a nice match against Naomi, which I lost, but I felt like I won. So, this whole tournament was really great for me. And even though I played U.S. Open and then I finished the season because of the injury, I remember I looked back for like a couple of months when I was injured at this tournament, and it really gave me hope. So, yeah.
Maybe a philosophical question for you, but how do you explain that tennis talent, sometimes it comes with experience? How do you explain that both number ones are so young, you and Carlos?
Ooh, how do I explain that? Well, I don't know, because in the past, I think there were many number ones that were even, you know, younger. I don't know, Martina Hingis. I don't know how it looks, you know, statistically, but I don't know. Even though we're young, we're powerful. I think it gives us more energy to kind of be consistent and to work on ourselves. And well, I can't give you like the exact reason, but I just think we didn't waste time when we were younger. We were always kind of using our chances. So when I think about my path, it was always like that, you know. And I'm pretty proud of that because all the choices that I made were pretty smart, and sometimes it was me, sometimes it was people around me or coincidence, but my path was pretty smooth. I didn't have any, you know, when I came from juniors to ITF, from ITF to WTA, there were only like a few tournaments where I felt like I'm not in the right place, and then I managed to work through it. So I don't know how it is with Carlos, but I feel like, for me, my journey is kind of normal. It didn't happen fast. Maybe being that we're number one, it happened fast. But besides that, I just felt like I'm doing progress, and yeah, so.
Just wanted to ask you a little bit about Elina. You still wear the Ukrainian pin on your visor, so obviously it's a big thing to you. Just the fact that she's come back so quickly from having a child, but also everything that she's going through. Can you just address that a little bit?
Sorry, the last part?
Just talk about the fact that she's doing what she's doing, playing so well at such a high level after having a child so short time ago, and everything that's going on in home country.
Well, I think it's great because she represents, I think, the good values, you know, and it's not easy for Ukrainian players to play. So the fact that she's doing that, and especially, you know, after becoming a mother and coming back so quickly, is just, you know, huge respect from my side. And I'm happy that there's such a person, you know, again, representing good values and showing people that the war is still happening, you know, because many of us have kind of short memory and media a little bit as well. Sorry guys. So so it's always nice to have somebody who's remembering and reminding people about, you know, the important things, and Elina is doing that. So I know it's a tricky topic overall, you know, in tennis, but she's kind of staying in what she believes in, and she's really kind of putting action also where many people or players are only, you know, saying stuff. So that's great.
Just on the Wozniacki, what do you think of her coming back? Just after being a mother and all that. You spoke a lot about how she influenced you earlier in your career, but now seeing her come back.
Well, besides what I said earlier, I just think it's great that she wants to still kind of see what she's capable of, and to still challenge herself, you know. So so I just have a huge respect for what she has done before, but it's still it's just nice for me to see that the player, even though she's kind of, you know, satisfied with her career, she still wants to come back and challenge herself. I don't know if I would have a strength for that, so I'm just gonna cheer for her, and it's pretty exciting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.